Hey guys, welcome to the Progress Brewing video channel. Once more, we have a very interesting tasting video of a beer that pretty much nobody other than a few people in here have tasted. We're going to talk to you about Magic Barrel. Those were the words that we uttered as soon as we
first tasted it.
Yep, because it was exceptionally good. And this is kind of one of the things that our beer of the month club is going to be.
Was structured around was projects like these.
Where we only have one barrel. It's magically good, and so we can't really have everyone kind of have it at the tap room, but it works out really well for kind of packaging it individually and giving it to the select few that join our club.
Yeah. So a little history on this beer. We originally made it in March 2017. Very different times. You could still go to movie theaters, hug your friends, other things. Very different from now. But on that day we brewed Electrodome. If you may have tried our delightful wheat wine that has raspberries and strawberries in it. But when we were about to add the fruit, we tasted all the barrels, tasted this one, and went, "Wow, this is one of the best things we've ever produced here." It doesn't need a single thing else. And so we put it to the side, and we've been dutifully making sure it gets all the love and attention it needs here. We've topped it up with extra wort. We keep tasting to make sure it's still getting even better, and it has. And so
so the problem is that when it's in the barrel, it will evaporate and it will concentrate, and that's why it's so good, because after so long you have these concentrated flavors. The problem is that as it concentrates, it evaporates and it leaves some of this headspace at the top. So every 2 months at the most, we have to come and have some extra liquid,
top her up a little bit,
and add it up to the top so it doesn't oxidize. Now we just tasted it, and I'm going to give a little bit of an advance, but just have a tiny bit of oxidation, which is normal for that long of aging. But it actually plays fantastically well.
We're going to talk about the notes that it really adds to it, and it's really dynamite.
So tell us a little more about the malt bill and kind of how did we make it?
Yeah, so this is one of our simpler grain bases here. It just has Pilsner malt and wheat malt, pale white wheat malt. And so not about half of one and half of another. And so it was designed to be a very simple but boozy base. So even though there's not that many ingredients in there, it was very concentrated. We started with a lot of grain and really boiled it down to get a very concentrated wheat wine base.
And we knew it was going to be a little sweet. We were thinking, well, once we add the fruit, we want something a little sweeter to kind of like blend in with the fruit. So,
and then hop-wise, we went with El Dorado and Simcoe as the bittering ones, and then Hallertau Mittelfrüh, a favorite of ours, for the end.
Now, after so long,
hop character does degrade. So those are the hops in it. This is not a hop-forward beer. This is a malt-forward beer, and boy, is there a lot of just incredible malt flavor.
Yeah.
So, shall we crack one open here? All right.
And we're using these super cute
little snifter glasses here.
Yeah, spirit glasses, and you can tell that there's a lot of viscosity.
Yeah.
We purposely did not add too much CO2 or carbonation to make it a little less sprinkly.
Yeah, we like to really showcase the flavors that this has.
Wow. It's like raisin juice, like rum raisin juice.
Toffee, honey, just.
Yeah, so you can,
That's good.
So in the Taze, you have usually 3 layers of flavors, like primary, secondary, and tertiary. Primary is kind of like just the most obvious, most apparent flavors that you get in beer. Secondary is kind of like after a little time, you get some complexity coming from that. And then tertiary are these super aged, old flavors. And I think this is
I'm still reeling. I barely heard anything you said there.
This is probably all secondary and tertiary flavors. And it's a lot of prune, some like rum
raisin. On it, you get this
like
nice
cherry. There's some fruitiness also.
You get a almost bourbon-like heat also, because it's quite boozy. But you could be mistaken guessing what the alcohol on this is.
So the alcohol is not that high. You can see it on our can. We have the information on this side. 2017 Magic Barrel wheat wine. And the alcohol is 11.3, but it doesn't even taste like a 7%.
No, it drinks extremely smooth. The only hint that it's as alcoholic as it is this a very pleasant, warming sensation. But that's what 3 years and 4 months in a barrel will do for you. Because the entire time we aged it, it was all in a barrel. So
so a lot of beers get bottled and then they get aged in the bottle.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know of other beers that stay in barrel that long.
And I think a lot of the character of this one is just this constant exposure to wood and the little micro-oxidation of the air coming through.
Imagine that the grains that we used are very, very pale grains, so it would have been really light, but after 3 years and a few months,
it's just soaked up all that wood color there.
You get this wood color. And so why don't you tell us a little about the barrel that we aged in?
Yeah, so we brewed right into the barrels, essentially, and it's been aging there ever since. This was a Chardonnay barrel from a California winery, and this was one of the ones where it got emptied right out and the beer pretty much went right in. Chardonnay doesn't give a particularly strong flavor contribution to stronger beers when you age it in there, but it's in the mix there for sure.
Yeah, it does have a lot of barrel character, even though there were neutral barrels, there were like second use barrels. But it does come through, and I think if we would have used a newer barrel, it would have been over oaked. There would have been too much oak.
Yeah, some of the wineries will pass on their barrels to breweries when the oak character is not presenting as much in subsequent wine fillings. So we got the wine barrel as the oak character is present, but not overwhelming, let's say. Right. So it presents a bit of that oak character, but pretty neutral. But it is a nice framework for the beer to age in.
So. Summary, I get a lot of like cooked orange, cherry jam, very jammy. Sherry, also some sherry component, kind of like oloroso.
I get honey and toffee.
Some of the barrel components that kind of blend in with a malt. Toffee.
Bit of maple syrup. All of the sweet, rich things you can think of, but the light spritz of carbonation really makes this it
balances it out.
A pretty pleasant sip here. It doesn't taste cloying or overwhelming. Sometimes when we were doing barrel tastings of it, the room temp, warm, flat beer could be extreme. I mean, you practically want to pour it on pancakes. Exactly.
Yeah.
This is dangerous. How good it is.
Also, the tannin extracted from the wood gives it another layer that balances the sweetness, and so I think it's really, really good. I think this is one of the best things we've ever made, and I'm really excited to share it with you guys. It wasn't planned. We just knew it was really good, and we kept it.
Part of good beer making is realizing when you're onto something good and doing your best to not mess it up. So this is the pinnacle of not messing something up.
So if you like barley wines, if you like maple syrup, or boozy, kind of slightly sweet beers, this is for you.
Yeah. So. And again, this is our barrel age release of the first month of our Beer of the Month Club. So you can only get this beer if you're a member of our Beer of the Month Club. So please sign up, tell your friends, and get ready because the pickup date for Will Call is on the 14th. And shipment date is very soon thereafter. So get in now because we're well on our way to having all of our spots fill up here. So
cheers, Kevin. Thank you.